You're going to take one step forward, and the next step, you probably might fall down. I don't know, you know? What's up everyone, my name is Shanchita and I just want to remind you that your Shanti lies within. Guys, today I want to talk about a topic that has been on my mind lately and I spent a lot of time thinking about this topic and I'm just, it's really interesting that I mentioned the word time because this topic is precisely about time. How do you spend your time every single day? Do you spend your time just wishing and hoping that things were different and just, sit around and just, instead of taking some sort of action or even perhaps trying something new and experimenting, do you just sit around hoping and wishing that things were different? Because I'll tell you something, nothing in life comes easy. लाइफ में कोई शॉर्टकट नहीं है. अगर आपको इस जिंदगी में आगे बढ़ना है तो आपको सीखना पड़ेगा. You have to be willing to learn, and there is no way that you can learn anything unless you take some sort of steps. If you have to actually take action, and when you take action you're going to make some mistakes. You're going to take one step forward and the next step you probably might fall down. I don't know, but as you take those steps you begin to learn from your experience. And you begin to learn more and more and more. And as you keep learning, you can apply that knowledge moving forward. And that is how you empower yourself to get closer to those goals that you are trying to achieve. But the problem is, we are not willing to learn. That's the main problem with anything, okay? I'll give you a perfect example, okay? I always wanted to be an actor. In films, because I grew up watching movies, I grew up watching Bollywood movies and everything. I always wanted to be an actor. And a lot of my friends, I have to actually give, a special shout out to my high school friends because they encouraged me a lot. Whenever I used to give these presentations in my class, my classmates and some of my peers, they always encouraged me and they always said, Arijit, we love to hear you talk. Like, you give amazing presentations and we love to hear you talk. And they actually encourage me to, step into the world of acting, okay? But initially, I thought I had it all figured out. I was like, bro, if I'm good at giving presentations and I'm good at speaking in public, then I can easily be an actor. Turns out, acting is a lot more complicated than that. And this is a historical crisis. This has always been a historical problem with actors. Actors never get any respect because everybody thinks that acting is easy. If you really think acting is easy, I encourage you to try to make acting a career. And I'm not even saying become a multi-millionaire actor or something. I'm saying try to be an actor and try to earn a decent living from acting by yourself. Let's see if you could do it. I promise you it's going to be a struggle for most people. But thankfully in high school, there was this course which was being offered. It was a theater course. And I took that theater course. And when I took this theater course, we sat around in a big circle. Every morning, that's how we started the class. We were all sitting around in the circle. And every morning, every student had to basically answer a special question of the day. And the way that this activity worked was that once you actually gave your answer, you had to point to somebody else in the circle and then it was their turn to participate. So it was completely based on spontaneity. It was not like you go around the circle. It was like you don't know when your turn might come and you pretty much have to think of an answer right then and there on the spot. And then after that, we started learning about, we called it Commedia dell'arte, which was Italian style comedy, Italian style theater plays. Then there was an entire unit dedicated to monologue performances, where each student had to pretty much perform a monologue by themselves on stage. Now you can imagine, I was a very shy kid. यार मैं बहुत ही shy था, ठीक है? I just did not like participating in class. और मैं हमेशा बस बैठा रहता था, and I used to just pay attention to everybody else in the class, but I never, even if I knew the answer, I used to be like very, very quiet. But eventually, taking these theater classes, it really allowed me to step outside of my comfort zone. And another thing I learned about theater was that the show must go on. So if you're on stage and you mess up, like you forget a line, or for example, and that happens a lot. Actors just don't tell you because that's a part of our job. But my acting teacher told me something very crucial. She said, like, if you forget the line on stage, the audience doesn't know that. So you have to sell it. You have to, even if you mess up on stage, you have to continue to sell it, and the show must go on. And I think that applies to life as well. Sometimes we make mistakes, but the show must go on. We must do the best that we can with the resources that we have. And if we fall down along the way, then we can learn, so that next time we face that situation in a different circumstance, we will know how to better react. So the problem is that people are not willing to learn. Everybody wants to make fun of actors and say that anybody can be an actor. That's an example that I could give you. But I really just wanted to tell you, take that time to learn. Whatever your craft is, if you want to, if you really love cooking, you have to learn cooking. You have to take some cooking classes. You have to get the best quality cooking equipment. Whatever type of dish you're trying to create, you have to make sure that you get the most highest quality pots and pans. You have to keep your kitchen clean. You have to get the right kind of utensils. You have to get fresh ingredients. You have to do a lot of research to figure out what kind of ingredients are fresh and best suited for the type of dish that you're trying to make. All of that requires time. Learning requires time. But it is the greatest investment for you to actually learn something, because when you actually learn something, you can use that knowledge and apply that knowledge. But the only way that you can learn something is if you take action. If you just sit around and by the way, it's not easy. It's not easy to go after your goals and your dreams, because your dreams are probably going to be big. But if you're willing to learn along the way, I promise you, you will get closer and closer to your dreams every day. That's a bar, and my name is Cheetah, and I love you all. I hope you learned something from this video. What are we at right now, bro? 7 minutes. Hey, I'm gonna stop talking right there. This is just the point that I needed to get across. Before I go, just so you guys believe me, this is my acting award right here. Yup. I'm a theater kid, bro. What's up to all of my theater kids in the chat? What's good? If you're a theater kid too, just like me, let me know. Shout out to Miss Aldridge and Miss Terzer. They were my drama teachers. Man, they taught me so much. I actually won this acting award in grade 11. It's a senior, it says Senior Performance Award. Okay? I have it proudly on my table over here, and I look at it every single day to remind myself that, I enjoy being an actor, and I want to tell good stories that can hopefully inspire people, but I also want to tell stories that other people can relate to. That's my goal as an actor, as a theater kid, and I think I'm saying too much, so I'm gonna get going. Peace, everybody, peace.